Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Boost Zone. I'm so happy you're here. This is a podcast where you learn English through stories, real stories, simple stories, stories with secrets inside. Today, we have a special story for you. It's called The Storm That Changed Everything. And hidden inside this story are many useful phrases about weather. You know what? We use weather idioms every single day in English. When we're happy, when we're worried, when we talk about problems, we use the weather to explain our feelings. So tonight, close your eyes, relax, listen, and let the story help you learn. Are you ready? Let's begin. Sarah looked out the window. Dark clouds were coming. Big, heavy, dark clouds. She felt worried. I think there's a storm coming, she said to her friend Mike. Mike smiled. Don't worry, it's just a few clouds. But Sarah knew. She could feel it in the air. Something was coming, something big. Sarah worked at a small cafe in the town. The cafe was called Sunny Corner. It was a happy place. People came every morning for coffee and cake. But today felt different. Sarah looked at the sky again. Mike, I really think we need to prepare. This storm looks serious. Mike laughed. Sarah, you always see the dark side. You're such a rain cloud sometimes. Sarah didn't answer. She just looked outside. The wind was getting stronger. The trees were moving, dancing, bending. Well, Sarah said quietly, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm going to close the windows. She walked around the cafe. She closed every window, one by one. Mike watched her. He was still smiling. You know what your problem is, Mike said. You always expect the worst. You need to chase the clouds away. But Sarah didn't listen. She knew, deep inside she knew. This wasn't just a small storm. At 3 o'clock, the rain started. Not soft rain, not gentle rain, heavy rain. It poured down, hard and fast. The sky was almost black now. Sarah looked at Mike. Mike wasn't smiling anymore. Okay, he said, maybe you were right. The cafe was empty now. All the customers had gone home. Only Sarah and Mike were there. They stood by the window and watched. The street was filling with water. More and more water. This is bad, Mike said. Really bad. Sarah nodded. Yes, we're in for some rough weather. The lights in the cafe started to flicker. On, off, on, off. We should leave, Sarah said, before it gets worse. But Mike pointed to the street. Look at that water. We can't go out there. It's too dangerous. They were stuck, trapped inside the cafe. The storm was all around them now. Thunder, lightning, rain. So much rain. Sarah tried to stay calm. It's okay, she told Mike. Every cloud has a silver lining. We're safe inside. We have food. We have water. We'll be okay. Mike nodded, but he looked scared. I should have listened to you, he said. You said the storm was coming. I didn't believe you. Sarah tried to stay calm. It's okay, she told Mike. Every cloud has a silver lining. We're safe inside. We have food. We have water. We'll be okay. Mike nodded, but he looked scared. I should have listened to you, he said. You said the storm was coming. I didn't believe you. The rain kept falling. The wind kept blowing. Hours passed. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The storm didn't stop. When will this end? Mike asked. Sarah looked out the window. I don't know, but storms don't last forever. After the storm comes the calm. Mike wanted to believe her. He really did. But right now, it was hard. The cafe was cold, dark, lonely. Outside, the world was water and wind. At 7 o'clock, something changed. The rain got slower. The wind got quieter. Look, Sarah said, I think it's passing. They both went to the window. Yes, the storm was moving away. The clouds were breaking apart. Small pieces of blue sky appeared. Finally, Mike said, finally. Sarah smiled. See, I told you, the storm always passes. They opened the cafe door. The street was wet, very wet. There were broken branches everywhere. Leaves, mud, water. But the air smelled fresh, clean, new. Wow, Mike said. Look at this mess. Sarah nodded. Yes, it's bad, but we can clean it up. They stepped outside. The sun was coming out now. A little bit, just a little. You know what? Mike said. This whole day has been crazy, but I learned something. What did you learn? Sarah asked. I learned to listen to you. When you say there's a storm coming, there's a storm coming. Sarah laughed. Well, I'm glad you learned that. They started to clean up. They picked up branches. They swept the water away. It was hard work, but together they did it. The next morning, something amazing happened. The cafe was full. So many people came. Why? Because during the storm, other shops were damaged. But Sunny Corner was fine. Sarah had prepared. She had closed the windows. She had protected everything. And now, everyone came to their cafe. Wow, Mike said. Look at all these customers. Sarah smiled. See, good things can come from bad situations. Every cloud really does have a silver lining. Mike agreed. You were right all along. You saw the storm coming. You prepared. And now we're okay. Better than okay. Era poured coffee for the customers. She felt happy. Tired but happy. You know, Mike said, I used to think you were too negative, too worried. But now I understand. You weren't being negative. You were being smart. Sarah nodded. Sometimes we need to see the clouds before they arrive. That way we can prepare. And from that day on, Mike always listened when Sarah talked about the weather. Because Sarah had a gift. She could read the signs. She could feel when a storm was coming. And that gift saved them. Now phrase explanation. Okay, everyone. That was our story. The storm that changed everything. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. Now, let's talk about the phrases. The special phrases that were hidden in the story. We're going to learn them together. Slowly, carefully. Are you ready? Let's begin. The first phrase is very simple. A storm is coming. In the story, Sarah said, "I think there's a storm coming." Now, this phrase has two meanings. The first meaning is literal. It means real weather, real rain and wind. Sarah looked at the sky and saw dark clouds. She knew a storm is coming. But we also use this phrase in another way. We use it to talk about problems, big problems that are coming soon. For example, imagine your company is losing money. Every month, less money, less money. You might say, "I think a storm is coming. We need to prepare." This means trouble is coming. Problems are coming. Or imagine your friend is always late for work. Always, every day. You might say, "A storm is coming. Your boss is getting angry." This means something bad will happen soon. So remember, a storm is coming can mean real weather or future problems. Let's practice. Listen and repeat. A storm is coming. Again, a storm is coming. Good. Now a full sentence. I can see the dark clouds. A storm is coming. Perfect. The second phrase is interesting. In the story, Mike said to Sarah, "You're such a rain cloud sometimes." What does this mean? A rain cloud is a cloud that brings rain, right? It's dark, it's heavy. It makes everything wet and gray. So when we call someone a rain cloud, we mean they're negative. They see problems. They worry. They make others feel sad or worried too. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we need people who can see problems. Like Sarah. Sarah saw the storm coming and she was right. But Mike thought she was being too negative. He called her a rain cloud. Here are some examples. Your friend always complains. Nothing is good enough. You might say, "Stop being such a rain." You're planning a party. Your sister says, "It will probably fail. Nobody will come." You say, "Don't be a rain cloud. It will be great." At work, someone always talks about problems, never solutions. People might say, "Here comes the rain cloud again." But remember, sometimes rain clouds are right. Sometimes we need to prepare for problems. Like Sarah, let's practice. Stop being a rain cloud. Again, stop being a rain cloud. Good. Next phrase, chase the clouds away. In the story, Mike told Sarah, "You need to chase the clouds away." This is a beautiful phrase. It means stop being sad. Stop worrying, be happy. Think about it. If you chase the clouds away, what happens? The sun comes out. Everything becomes bright and warm. So this phrase means make yourself feel better. Think positive thoughts. Here's how we use it. Your friend is sad because she failed a test. You say, "Come on, let's go for a walk. We'll chase the clouds away." You're feeling down. Everything seems bad. You tell yourself, "I need to chase these clouds away. I'll listen to music and feel better." A child is crying. You make funny faces. The child starts laughing. You say, "There, we chased the clouds away." This phrase is about making darkness go away, about bringing light and happiness back. It's lovely, isn't it? Let's practice. Chase the clouds away. Again, chase the clouds away. Beautiful. Now a sentence. Let's watch a funny movie and chase the clouds away. Perfect. Now, this next phrase is important. In for some rough weather. Sarah said, "We're in for some rough weather." What does rough weather mean? Rough weather is bad weather, dangerous weather, storms, strong winds, heavy rain. But again, we use this phrase for more than just weather. We use it to talk about difficult times. When you're in for rough weather, it means difficult times are coming. You will face problems, challenges, hard situations. Examples: your company is changing managers. The new manager is very strict. Someone says, "We're in for some rough weather. She's going to change everything." You didn't study for your exam. Tomorrow is the test. You think, "Oh no, I'm in for some rough weather." Two countries are arguing. They might go to war. The news says, "The region is in for some rough weather." This phrase is a warning. It says, prepare yourself. Things will be difficult. But here's something important. This phrase doesn't mean things will be bad forever. It means things will be difficult for a while. Weather changes, storms pass, and after rough weather comes calm. Let's practice. In for some rough weather. Repeat, in for some rough weather. Good. Full sentence. We're in for some rough weather, but we'll get through it. Excellent. This is my favorite phrase from the story. Every cloud has a silver lining. Sarah said this to comfort Mike. She said, "Every cloud has a silver lining. We're safe inside." What does this mean? First, let's think about clouds. When you look at a cloud, sometimes the sun is behind it. The edge of the cloud shines. It looks silver, beautiful. So even a dark cloud has something beautiful about it. This phrase means, even in bad situations, there's something good. Even when things are difficult, you can find hope. This is a very famous English phrase. We use it all the time. Examples: you lose your job, that's bad. But now you have time to study something new. Your friend says, "Every cloud has a silver lining." Now you can learn what you always wanted. You break your leg, you can't walk, but your family visits you every day. You spend time together. You realize every cloud has a silver lining. I'm closer to my family now. Your car breaks down. You have to take the bus. On the bus, you meet someone interesting. You become friends. You think, well, every cloud has a silver lining. This phrase teaches us something important. It teaches us to look for the good things, even when life is hard. Let's practice. Every cloud has a silver lining. Again, every cloud has a silver lining. Wonderful. This phrase is a little longer. Making a mountain out of a molehill. In the story, Mike said, "I thought you were making a mountain out of a molehill." Let me explain. A molehill is very small. It's a little pile of dirt made by a mole, a small animal. A mountain is very big, huge, tall. So when you make a mountain out of a molehill, you make a small problem seem like a big problem. You exaggerate. You worry too much about something small. Examples: your friend is crying because she got a B on her test, not an A. You say, relax. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. A B is still good. Your husband is angry because dinner is 5 minutes late. You say, why are you making a mountain out of a molehill? It's just 5 minutes. Someone at work made a tiny mistake. The boss is very angry. People whisper, she's making a mountain out of a molehill. It's not that bad. Now, here's something interesting. In our story, Mike thought Sarah was making a mountain out of a molehill. He thought she was exaggerating about the storm, but she wasn't. The storm was real. It was big. So sometimes what looks like a molehill really is a mountain. That's an important lesson. Let's practice making a mountain out of a molehill. Repeat, making a mountain out of a molehill. Good, it's long, but you can do it. Sentence: don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's a small problem. Excellent work. Another beautiful phrase. After the storm comes the calm. Sarah said this to give Mike hope. She said, storms don't last forever. After the storm comes the calm. This phrase is about hope. It means bad times don't last forever. After difficulty comes peace. After problems come solutions. After sadness comes happiness. The storm is loud, scary, difficult, but then it passes. And after, everything is quiet, peaceful, calm. We use this phrase in life. Your friend is going through a divorce. She's very sad. You tell her, I know it's hard now, but after the storm comes the calm. You'll be happy again. You're working 60 hours a week. You're so tired. You tell yourself, just 2 more weeks. After the storm comes the calm. A country is at war. People are suffering. But then the war ends. Peace returns. People say, finally, after the storm comes the calm. This phrase reminds us to be patient. Have hope, because nothing lasts forever. Not even storms. Let's practice. After the storm comes the calm. Again, after the storm comes the calm. Beautiful. Full sentence. Don't worry. After the storm comes the calm. Perfect. I hope today's story helped you learn something new. Not just in English, but also in life. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing.